Hail them.
Hailing frequencies open, sir.
Hailing frequencies. Open.
I don't know why I keep giving alien street food a chance. It's always such a gamble.
Captain, we're being hailed.
On screen.
Hello and welcome to another Hailing Frequencies Open podcast where we continue to trek through the past and future of Star Trek. I'm your host, Mike Jones, and joining me today are three of my co-hosts. We'll shout them out one at a time. Damien, how's it going?
It's going really good, Mike Jones. I'm so excited to be back recording again after our little hiatus as our lives got too chaotic.
The holidays are a busy, busy time, and we had a rotation of house guests that lasted for weeks. So I'm finally able to be back in this spare bedroom where I record. I'm glad to be here with you. And we also have one of our OG hosts from the very beginning, Aaron. How's it going?
Hey, Mike Jones. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm great. Our video podcast watchers will know that Aaron got a blowout today.
She did. It's voluptuous.
Rocking the hair.
Listen, I do it for the fans.
And our most recent host joining us also from the city, Lenita. How's it going?
Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm great. Listen, enjoying seeing your faces for the first time in 24 makes me happy.
Yeah, you notice that Mike Jones has become less and less specific about locations so that he won't be incorrect.
After he did
She's
it
from
fully
a
wrong.
city. She's from a city.
A city, right. From a city.
Somewhere
Northeast.
in the northern hemisphere. Lenita.
Here I am. Hello, everyone.
All
from
the
a
way
Federation
from...
member planet.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to back myself into any more corners about my geographic challenges there. So today we are going to talk about, since it is our first time recording in 2024, we're going to look back at the last year and do a little review of what happened in 2023, and then talk about what we're looking forward to next year.
We're like those people who say Happy New Year, and you're like, it's February. What are you talking about?
No, you get to say it until the end of January. That's the rule. Like,
that's the rule.
February 1st, no more. Even if you haven't seen them, you go, hey.
I think Damien was just calling me out because I literally started this call by saying Happy New Year. So
as you should have, because it's
well,
January
no, I'm also kind of making fun of us for doing like a year-end wrap-up maybe a month late, which whatever. It's not like no one is regarding it. No one is coming to us for timely information or even necessarily correct information.
Right. No one is remembering that it's 2024 when they write down the date yet. Therefore, it is still valid for us to recap 2023.
There we go.
Also, 2023 was a big year for Star Trek. And so I think we should not leave it behind so quickly.
We had a lot going on. The only show that we didn't get a season out of is in the current rotation is Discovery.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad. I feel like that was planned, though. I don't think that was strike related or anything. I think they just, when they decided that it would be the last season, they went back and shot some more. But I think they already, am I wrong? Were they planning?
I think all that happened before the strike.
Yeah. So it's weird. I was just looking back and I double checked. I went back to Memory Alpha to be like, am I?
Yeah. We're
not remembering this right, but no. So yeah, we started the year in mid-February with Picard season 3, and that wrapped up in April. Then we were in the dark times for a little bit with nothing. Then Strange New World season 2, June through August, and then Lower Decks season 4, September through November. So those were our official dates.
When we're mini treks, when we're very short treks in there.
I left out. Well, they're not canon.
I don't care.
I did leave out the very short treks. They were. They were. Yeah, someone should Google that real quick.
Okay, I'm a googs. I'm gonna do the googs.
Oh, and we also got the Center Seat documentary, which was fun.
Was that really this year? That was
yeah. Well, or maybe it just went on to being free this year. I'm not sure. But I think it did premiere this year.
We got so very short track, September 8th of 23 through October 4th.
So that overlapped with Lower Decks being out.
Yeah.
In celebrating the animated series 50th anniversary. So yeah, big year. Also a lot of comics came out this year, some books. There was a lot to keep up with. So let's hit some of our favorite moments. And let's maybe go by series. I'm looking at the word Picard. Clearly I want to talk about Picard.
Mm-hmm. It was the top of my list on my little piece of paper. End of Picard. I was like, oh, I was so sad it went away, but I was so happy of the way it ended.
I know, it was such a great end to that whole chapter of the franchise. And I'm going to say my favorite moment before anybody else steals it: the reveal of the Enterprise D.
Oh yeah,
was my favorite moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a ship guy.
I'm a ship guy.
A ship nerd. Ship
nerd.
My favorite ship is. I'm a California class guy. No,
I like the fat one.
Fat D. Fat D.
Oh my god.
What other favorite moments do we have in Picard season 3? There's too many to mention.
I'm gonna go sort of a little sideways on this one, because I had like two kind of parallel moments. Because I think that so much of like TNG in the like relationships between our characters, this is very much about that. So much lived under the surface and was unspoken, especially in our two primary romantic, non-romantic, will they, won't they relationships on the show. That I was like, God, after all these years, like these people are like digging into the heart of the matter and we're getting to watch it, as opposed to like something unspoken, as opposed to like, maybe we should the attached episode with Picard and Beverly near the end of the series where he says maybe we should be less afraid to share our feelings, and she says, or maybe we should, and that was it, right? We got nothing. And then all these years later, she comes back and there's a scene in sickbay where it's just them, where everyone else like quietly sees it happening and quietly tiptoes out of the room, and they just go in at each other. Like you never get to see Picard and Crusher like really get to the like, because there's all this like subtext of like, he was responsible for her husband's death and all this, and they barely ever touched it. Like it was they never actually got to the like actual drama of the relationship. It was always just there under the surface. And we finally got them to like peel away and like go at each other in a way where you're like, oh my God, like these people love each other, but they're giving us conflict and they're giving us drama. And to me, it was like the best of both worlds, where where it was truly the characters as we knew them. It was truly Star Trek. It was truly like the things that were at stake were very like real and based in that sci-fi universe, but we got to like hear them have feelings that were like messy. And both of those actors, like Gates McFadden, I don't think has ever had a better moment on Star Trek. And then in that scene, acting together, and you're like, God, like she's so good, and she never gets to be as good as Picard in those moments. And I like that. To me is like, I go back to that moment and that scene as like the thing about that series where I finally have like some like meat to chew on. And my runner-up is going to be, you didn't ask for this, but Riker and Troy in the jail cell, where they kind of do, they
Your
have the same
favorite
thing. My
Yeah.
favorite thing. And she, and then, and of course they like veer left of what you think it's going to be. Cause she's like, he calls her Imzadi and she's like, I should have taught you a different word. Right? Where you're like, that's not what you
Keep it to
expect her to
yourself.
say.
Right.
That's not how you knew her before, but you're like, oh, that's like so true because you're like, I was like, God, you overuse that word, don't you think? And then she calls him on it and it's just so good. So it's all the meat to chew on they gave us.
Because we talked about the fact that they've actually given them depth. Like Picard allowed for a deeper dive into the humanity of each of these characters.
Yes.
And for me, I love that you mentioned both of those, Damien. I enjoyed watching Picard be a father.
Yeah.
An actual father to an actual child, in quotes for this listening medium, of his, and taking the breadth and wealth of his experience, knowledge, failures, successes, and trying to shape and guide someone who he's just met as a fully grown human in a different way than you would do it as like an actual kid, right? Like, and the implications of not knowing, of just finding out, of realizing that there's something else going on that they have to figure out, but then still trying to help him be the best person he can be. I was just like, those moments just really touched me because we saw Picard as a father to everyone, like in the loose term, like you're the captain, so you are like the head of the household, the head of the ship. And in this way, it's like he had to sort of take a step back from being captain and really be just a father to this man, but
right.
Still his quote unquote kid. Like, I loved that because again, we get to see the deeper portion of who Picard is.
It's nice to see these characters in modern television, not in the Berman era of Trek. Not that we didn't love that, but it was a different kind of storytelling and a different approach to character. They were still trying to stay true, I think, to some of that Roddenberry rule about the characters not having conflict with each other, that humans shouldn't have conflict with each other because we've grown beyond that, which is insane from a storytelling perspective.
Yeah,
right.
We're always going to have conflict. We're human. Like, feelings create conflict because no one's ever going to agree all of the time.
Right.
Well, and then it's a weird part of the entire philosophy too, that a utopia is a place without conflict. That is
correct. Yeah.
I think also it's nice to see the human aspects of these characters get to live front and center because it's like they always, I would argue that they always had that depth. They always have like added, over the 7 years, we get all these aspects of backstory and sort of triumph and tragedy and all these things that are layered into these characters, but they always set it aside to do their job, and the show is about their job.
Right.
And
with this one, you got to see it happen with their job.
Yes.
It wasn't set aside. That's what I mean.
It can all be the same story.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I think for me that the relationships, just getting to see people, seeing these performers who know these characters so well, just really dig into the relationships. So I don't know if I have anything useful to add because I just agree so much with everything you've said. The only other thing I'll throw in about Picard that I really enjoyed was like the Worf stuff. I really had fun. Every time Worf started to freaking meditate, I'm like, this is fantastic. What's gonna happen? This is gonna be a bloodbath. It was just very enjoyable because it felt joyful.
Because it was growth. Like everyone grew. Like, you're like, oh, you're this warrior. Where's your battle? He's like, let's have some tea. Like, let's center ourselves.
Yep.
And
we
go a different place.
And we all have friends that we've lost track of for years and years and years, and turn up.
They show up again.
They show up as people. I was like, what happened to you?
Right.
But in a way where you're like,
story.
I think you stop and think about it, you're like, all right, that kind of actually checks out, like
that makes sense.
Not what I called, but okay. I
that's
get
the evolution of you. Okay, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I loved him with Rafi. That was like a
Oh,
you
match made
know,
in heaven.
it was like such a good, like it was like a sensei really obviously relationship. And it was, yeah, and it was nice to see him all of those years he was like the first person to like, you know, pull out a phaser or to try,
Right,
Correct.
and
right.
and now to see him, teaching somebody else how to manage those impulses.
Right.
And it was really rich.
I mean, season 1, 1987, Worf is the character who pulled out a phaser and aimed it at the view screen
Right,
at one
exactly
point.
what I'm
You know
thinking.
what I mean? So the character has definitely grown.
There's some growth there. Yeah.
A little bit, just a little
Right.
bit, just a little bit.
Any other specific moments in the third season of Picard that sing out? Um, you know, I'll say one if to give you guys time to think, but the or whatever, but the unspoken moment between Beverly and Picard when she said, "Yeah, he's your son." You know what I mean? And they did it without dialogue.
Yep.
It was just brilliant acting, and that would only work with characters that we know have this kind of history with each other and with us. We know these characters. That was a highlight for me.
I also loved seeing Picard and Riker in the bunk bed.
Oh yeah,
That whole like the early part of the season where it's like the two of them, where it's like the buddy story, the two
right.
of them was
Back
just,
again.
this to me was a Riker that we have never seen before, and that actually bears mentioning for me. That because Riker was never my favorite character on TNG. Like he was
Sure.
like, he did his job, but he was like, he was like the brown-haired white guy. Like to me, there was nothing. He's like
Yeah.
straight out of Enterprise. I'm like, what's interesting about him, right? And
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, but like this Riker is he still has that sense of humor,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and he just is like layered with some tragedy, but is like, I don't know, there's something just so like easy and real about him, and funny, and I just thought he was great this season.
What about things we didn't like in Picard?
It ending.
I
My
will
rule.
say
More Star Trek all the time. Give me more. And I appreciate the end. Like I say that in jest because
right.
I don't want to say goodbye. Right? Like I felt that way watching the last episode of Next Gen. Like it was so final, and you're just like, give me more. Like I want to see what's next after that game. And this gave us the opportunity to see what's next. And now I'm like, okay, growth, everybody's changed. What's next? And I want it on screen. I don't want it in my mind.
Sure. Right. Or in a paperback.
Yeah.
I think it's a 12 episode story told in 10.
That is true. That is true.
I think that it was, and I think that was just that's the network chose to do that. But that I think that towards the like there were too many dots that got connected too quickly, and
yeah, it wrapped up a little too fast.
A little rush.
Some mysteries were never really answered.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of the ending, I was really sad that Laris was just gone. Not even a line of dialogue, not even a quick phone call, nothing, which I think was really a disservice to that character.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the sort of and then you hear the sort of the behind the scenes story of how that they shot seasons 2 and 3 consecutively, like they didn't stop. They wrapped season 2, and then the next day showed up for season 3.
Right.
Oh.
And there were dialogue things that I think connected the like the Borg Guardians at the Gate story that wrapped up season 2, right?
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah,
That
with her
connected.
yeah.
Yeah, there was some like dialogue that got cut that Terry Matalas didn't realize had been cut that
Mm.
would have bridged the gap a little bit more, would have explained, like, you're like, wait, it's as though none of that actually happened. And so there was a little bit of
Right.
like more of a bridge between those 2 seasons that I think got rushed out. But
Yeah.
Remind me, because it has been so long since it all went away and so much has happened between then. Did we ever figure out why little creepy lady cigarette smoker on the strike, like what her real connection was with the people who on her bridge, like the alien, like that
No.
whole
you
didn't like it
little
was-
creepy lady. I was like, who the hell are you talking about?
Amanda Plummer.
Baddick, Amanda Plummer. Okay, all right. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I couldn't remember.
Now,
just, like,
now
it
I
was-
got to hear your whole question again because I didn't get in yet.
The smoking creepy lady.
The smoking creepy lady. Did we ever find out what her actual relation, like how she came to be with the creatures, why it was that they decided to all work together or work for her, or
I mean, with the Borg or with the
no,
Like
or
her
those like
crew.
her
no,
crew?
her
Yeah,
crew
that was
was-
never explained. The crew
Right?
with the weird clicking language.
yeah, the
and like,
clickers. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
not explained. I
In
think that's it,
the
yeah.
in the closed captioning, it's a very strange thing to know, because it was a spoiler. In the closed captioning, you know how sometimes they will, if there's an off-screen voice, it says like who.
Yes.
It said,
Borg Queen.
no, it didn't say Borg. Well, it might have, but no, it said shapeshifter for one of the clicky people's clicks. So it
A
made me think like,
founder?
well, yeah, were they also founders that
Ugh.
were experimented on, and that's why they're, I don't know. I'm filling in gaps I shouldn't have to fill in.
No, but you know exactly. You're filling in gaps you shouldn't have to fill in. Like that was sort of one of the things where it's like, what are we doing? I'm gonna go with it. Like, okay, what do you call it? Suspension of disbelief. All right, she's here. She's smoking. She mad, and she wants him. Fine. Why? Who knows? Okay, that was the only part that I was like, this is wild. But we'll go. I'll go there with you.
That was weird. I think the only other thing I would complain about, and this would have been, I think we could have spent more time if we had a couple more episodes. I wanted to see more of Geordi as a dad.
Oh,
His
yeah.
dad energy was phenomenal,
Mhm.
Phenomenal.
but like there wasn't enough Geordi. I wanted
Always
more.
get more. Always have more Geordie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Always.
We stan LeVar Burton. We stan.
All day
And
long.
and it's nice to
watch
see
this
his
Finding Your
eyes.
Roots.
It
Yes. Yes.
But he
Mm.
was such a good dad. And like with his 2 daughters, like
Dude,
he was
completely
a
different.
girl dad.
Yeah, he
And
was a
it
girl
just, like,
dad.
Yes.
And like
Oh,
I wanted more of that.
Well, and
Yeah.
I love also that he had clearly very different relationships with each of the 2 daughters.
Because
and
they were
that it-
clearly diametrically, like they were
Yeah.
2 different people. Like-
Yes, and that you can see how that like affected their relationship with one another, how they still got along, they were
Yeah,
so
but it's like-
close,
Yeah.
but there was like, I'm dad's favorite, you're not. Like,
Correct.
yeah.
Right. You know, if we do get the spinoff, the I just lost the name that people
Star
have
Trek
given it.
Legacy.
Legacy. I almost said Legends. I'm like, that sounds like a Marvel
It
thing.
sounds no, you know what that
Um,
sounds like is a celebrity impersonator show in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, it yes.
Sorry, tribute artists.
Um,
They're tribute artists.
Tribute artist. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Apologies to all the tribute
Um,
artists listening.
If we do get Star Trek Legacy, I mean, there's opportunity for some Geordie cameos because the daughter would be on the show. We think, you know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
would make sense.
Would both of them be on the show?
Well, that's a question. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that
Um,
is a
There's
question.
room for it. Okay, let's move on from Picard to the next
Bye,
show.
Picard.
Bye, Picard. Au revoir.
Jean-Luc. Au revoir. Bonsoir.
to Strange New World season 2. This was our summer, our late summer.
And what a summer it was, Mike Jones.
Right?
We got
Yeah.
a musical episode.
Yes.
We got a crossover with a cartoon.
Yes.
Oh,
It was everything.
It was everything.
It's-
They did it
really
right.
Was. They
They
really
did
did.
it right.
I honestly am struggling to find favorite moments that are not in those 2 episodes because like so and it was an excellent season, like apart from all, like it's more
Yes.
than just those 2 episodes, but
However, they were the standouts because
They were.
at the
Oh
end
my
of the
God.
day, like I said, we all know I'm a musical junkie. Like I'm all about like a regular show being like, we're going to have a musical episode. And the fact that they wrote it to
Mm.
them, they didn't do covers to try to fit into, they
Mhm.
gave each person what their style was, what their swagger was, what their vocal ability was. Like, it was fucking perfect. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those like that goes in the download and keep forever file. Like it just was
Totally.
that good. The camera work, like it mind blown. I was like, I'm in.
Amazing.
I was in to begin with, but like this one, I was like, when we got to do the musical episode, when we talked about all of the different musical episodes throughout TV's history, this one goes down. Like you can't
They
tell me
nailed
this
it.
is not in like top 5 and not number 5. It's like up there. It's number 2.
Oh, yeah.
You want to go, okay.
And like all good musicals, the songs themselves actually moved the story forward.
story along.
Yes.
It was
thank
not
you.
like
the reason.
pause
Thank
while we
you.
do a
All
little
we
song and
sing-
dance.
No, it was.
Oh, we both just did choreography.
we did.
Yeah, we did. We did.
It was
Sorry,
like I
balls.
can't contain myself so much that it has to come out in song to drive the plot forward.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, and,
And
that,
that was-
I mean, that's the great. I mean, the sci-fi of that story of that episode was like, okay, but it was like, but that like MacGuffin,
Right.
to take an Aaron word, is good word, is great because the whole idea that when emotions are high is when
Yeah.
they're moved to
Yeah.
sing. So
Right.
you're
And they
like,
were aware of it. Like it
Yeah.
isn't, it wasn't like a musical where people are singing and they're not aware that they're singing. Like everyone
Sure.
was aware and they're like, this is weird. This shouldn't be happening, and yet I can't stop singing.
And the absolute best part of that entire episode is this just happening on our ship? View screen. Klingons.
Klingons.
and then it was
K-pop.
I mean,
K-pop Klingons.
but wait, you know that
Exactly.
they shot a different version of that too, right?
No.
Yeah, what was
They
the
did it with
other-
rap, and they decided that it was the terrible. I'm sorry. Go
Well,
ahead.
I'm sorry. Like as like Star Trek through the years it has been like unclear. Like, are Klingons black or are they Asian? Like what ethnic groups are we like leaning into here for this particular, right?
yeah,
Borrowing from.
yeah.
And that, yeah, I mean, to have them painted brown rapping is just it's not a good look for
Is a
Star Trek.
problem in 2024. What was the other version, Damien? What were they doing?
I don't remember. It was someone was concerned that the K-pop thing was not. I remember this story. So they shot a whole different version, and they were like,
But K-pop is good because it's timely and it makes sense that like the thing about K-pop is that a lot of the groups, they look so similar. They're all very pretty. Like I
Yeah.
feel like Requisite is pretty. So so you're like, but the difference is like one's got maybe blue hair, he's the grunge boy, but y'all look like it could be related. And with the Klingons, it's like they all like they could be really like there's maybe a different little ridge, but them singing K-pop. Because I mean, what are the distinguishing factor? Like you look at zebras. Zebras all have different, stripe patterns. So it's like, but can you really tell that zebra from that zebra? No, unless you're a zebra. So I feel
Okay,
like Klingons are like that as well. Go
outgroup
ahead.
homogeneity. You
quick-
just explained it.
Quick point of reference. Yes, Mike Jones.
A quick Google search finds that it was like Klingon opera was the other
Okay.
version.
Okay.
Not as good.
Yeah.
Not as good.
No, it
Yeah.
would have the comedic impact
Right.
of the view screen showing them, and the fact that they were so miserable. They're like the
Miserable.
indignity of
Exactly.
us not
mad
just
about
singing, but singing this kind of music.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Like diametrically opposed to Klingon
Yeah.
opera is K-pop.
Whereas I assume
yeah.
Klingon opera, there'd be a certain amount of dignity in it because it's Klingon art.
Right.
Exactly.
Maybe there's a Klingon, a K-pop underworld culture that we don't know about.
Someone's gonna write that. You know that, right? So there's gonna be some
And
fan
that's the thing
fiction.
I wish we had seen more of in this episode. A real deep dive into
The
underground
subculture.
Klingon
The
K-pop.
underbelly.
The underbelly
Oh my God.
of Klingon K-pop. I mean, it makes sense. Klingon K-pop. It's
Yeah.
great.
So outside of the musical episode, you've already mentioned Those Old Scientists, the crossover episode.
Absolutely.
Specifically, my favorite, it's not one moment, but my favorite part of that episode was Spoimler, Spock Boimler, their
Yeah.
like relationship was so
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah.
Right down to Boimler being flustered, trying to respond to live long and prosper on the transporter pad. It was just so perfect.
The episode was perfect.
It's a delight.
For me, it's when Mariner falls out of the portal, gets up and looks around, is like, "Where's Uhura? Uhura here?"
Exactly. You're right. That's all I care about.
Oh my God. Because also it's like that thing in Star Trek where like sometimes people seem a little blasé about the incredible like fucked upness of the reality of what's
Sure.
happening.
Yeah.
The Enterprise gets flung to the far reaches of the galaxy into another galaxy, and then you're like, no
Right,
one is
right.
really freaking out.
It's like
Right.
Janeway says, it's Starfleet. Weird is part of the job.
Yes. Yes. But that Mariner is like so that way, but like her own Mariner itself about it. Like not even like I went back in time, I fell through a portal, I'm not animated anymore. It's just like,
Nope.
who are here?
I'm asking the real hard-hitting question. Where's my girl
Right.
at? Because that's what I need to say.
Uh-huh.
And also with that episode, it really locked in for me the relationship between Boimler and Mariner, like seeing them as the actors together
Mhm.
really was like, oh, this is how, in my mind, this is how you're taping the animated. Like, as we talked about, like animation sometimes because it's voice acting, you don't have to be with anybody. You can just say your lines.
Right.
It'll say, do the take happy, do the take sad, give it some more excitement. You don't even need a director with you, just send in your stuff. But I feel like the way that they speak to each other, they're together when they do it. And it was
Mhm.
like showcased there, like them being together. I was like, yes, you two are the best and hilarious and
Yeah.
weird and awkward and all of the things that your characters are in this animation, like, is you as the character in real life.
Yeah, the actors themselves have chemistry with one another.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really fun to watch.
And they did a
Me-
smart thing by making them actually sort of look like the actors who play them,
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was I was like, hey, in my head, I'm like, he looks like him. Did they?
Oh yeah.
Like, that's just good. That's just smart. Probably forward thinking of, if we ever did a crossover episode, let's have them not be completely separate or like look so different than the actual characters. I would love to see Tindy. What's she gonna look like?
Yeah. It's funny. The only thing that they don't have in common with their characters is that they're both very tall, and the actress who plays Tindy, I think, is really short. But on the show, like, their animated characters are all kind of the same height.
Correct.
But if they filmed them, like Boimler and Mariner would be giants compared. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
really?
Yeah, they're both really tall.
Oh,
Which is funny. I think that there are concept sketches out there of Mariner before Tron, I almost said Trondi Newman.
Rondi Newman.
Before Trondi Newman was cast.
That's her Instagram handle.
Right.
Rondi,
but-
I know you're out there. You're listening. We're gonna have you on
Yes.
someday. We got a chair for you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there are, I think I've seen sketches of what that character was maybe going to look like originally, and they definitely like, you know, made her look more like the actress, which makes sense, you know. What
Ooh.
about? Oh, sorry.
As I'm look, no.
Oh,
I'm
are you
Googling.
looking?
Absolutely.
Give it a
You tell me
Google.
so- I gave it a Googs.
Yeah, she looks like her. I mean,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
minus the green hair and green skin, but
She does look like her.
the
Yeah.
face shape, yeah.
It's
They
smart,
definitely modeled the drawings after the actors.
Yeah.
but it's a smart thing to do. Like if you
Yeah.
can do it, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well,
Like if it works
absolutely.
with what you're doing, then I mean, we all know the cat is not looking like anybody. Like we already know that.
Right.
We get it. You know, what's Big Brolick's name? Died 1700
Shax.
times.
Yeah.
we-
Yeah. He doesn't really look like that.
He's probably not gonna look like that because
No.
that's a lot of skipped leg days. But you know,
I feel like Captain Freeman that actress Dawn Lewis could play her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were there any moments in we switched over to Lower Decks.
mhm.
But getting back to Strange New Worlds, were there moments in Strange New Worlds that were disappointing this season?
You know, I'm giving them grace for this one because I have the feeling this is where we're going. That the Gorn are monsters.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh,
we don't actually get a lot of monsters on Star Trek. Everything is always like we think they're a monster, but then we learn that we had a misconception and that we learned to communicate.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I can only believe that that's where it's going, but it is sort of unnerving or it's unsettling to see the way that they deal with the Gorn now. And especially because, like, listen, La'an was, you know, in a Gorn breeding camp, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Like,
What?
super traumatic and like,
And what does that mean?
right? And then the Gorn kill Hemmer, you know, so everyone's got some like real like emotions tied to the Gorn. And so,
Yeah.
so you get it that it's like very human that they find them to be monsters. But that was a little lacking for me. That was not my favorite part of it.
When you mentioned that kind of trope of we think they're monsters and then we realize we're not communicating well with them, they literally pulled that out in the Lower Decks episode Caves with the monster thing that is,
Yes.
and then like the universal translator translates it and like, yeah, I was just protecting my children. You know, it's like right out of the playbook.
Yeah.
You know,
But
and
here
I'm
we
curious-
are trying to talk about Strange New Worlds and we keep talking about Lower Decks.
I know.
One bleeds into the other, and that's okay.
It does.
That's okay.
The moment okay, I really struggled to find something wrong with Strange New Worlds this season. The moment that really bothered me, and it's very petty, you know, they reused a lot of sets for budgetary reasons, but
Yes, my
in
friends.
Ad Astra per Aspera,
Mm.
the courtroom made no sense because they used that Star Trek Discovery bridge set that then became the space station that has become several things, and it has that big circle in the middle of like nothing.
Yeah.
Like that made no sense for a courtroom. Like they should not have shot that there. I'm gonna die on this hill.
But that episode was really good.
It was great.
You just were thrown out. You were like, damn it, find a new set.
Right.
I liked that episode a lot, and of course that tied into the poster that Boimler has.
Yes.
But also, I love in that episode something you rarely get on Star Trek is they visit a planet where humans can't breathe.
Oh
Which
yeah.
Pike does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wild. Because
Right, and-
everything is always an
of
M-class
course.
planet. Everything always has what we need to breathe in it.
Yeah.
Right.
How about the lawyer? right?
Right.
Best.
Like I think she was one of the best like new guest characters of that season.
Absolutely.
Like a new character that was not like a legacy, that wasn't Scotty, you know.
Yep.
We could do a whole episode on Star Trek lawyers. It just came to me.
Oh, we can go back
Ooh.
to it
The
popped into my
data
head.
episode.
Yes, Measure of a
Yes.
Man.
Measure of a Man.
Yes.
Right. We'll always have Paris, I think, maybe.
Menagerie.
The Menagerie.
Yes, that's the
I
one I
mean,
was
there's
thinking
always,
of.
and I mean, Encounter at Farpoint. That is a
Encounter at
courtroom.
Farpoint.
It's not
yeah.
a Starfleet courtroom.
But it is a very Star Trek
Yeah.
kind of scene and courtroom for sure.
Yeah.
Court Martial, the TOS episode. There's a great lawyer.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, mark it down, Mike Jones. Okay, so that's our homework.
So that's happening. Okay, great.
That's happening in 24.
Right, that'll be in our
Lawyers.
things to look forward to.
Courtroom episodes. No, I don't think there was, honestly, I don't think there was like anything that really bothered me about season 2. Like, again, like I understand that these series that are put on streaming services can't be my 22 normal network episodes. I get that. Still pisses me off because I want more than 10.
Yeah.
They're
over so fast.
Give me 12. give me like what? Oh, hello, Darkness and Damien, my old friend.
He just turned off his light for some reason.
My light was draining my battery, and I was like, I'm not going to get through this podcast.
Oh no!
But Colby gave it to me, so I'm obligated to use it. And now my battery is too low. So
you're not obligated.
I'm not moving to a plug. Let's get a little look behind the curtain. I'm sorry to have interrupted all of this.
No, it's fine. It's just hilarious. It's like, and Darkness. I guess he's leaving us, everyone. I think that like give me half a season of a regular network show. Like you get what, like 14 episodes, and then there's the mid-season break, then they come back on the back end with another 12. Like just give me half of that. Just give me half of a full network season, because I feel like there's always so much more to explore. I think that things could be taken slightly slower, because it's not like they're speeding through, but just I always want more exposition. I want more backstory. I want to know more about everyone. Maybe we'll get it in season 3.
Do we have favorite characters from Stranger, like of the regular cast? Like who did we feel like really stood out this season?
Like Una, I mean, number one.
She got a very nice arc through the whole thing.
Yeah, because it felt like they maybe didn't know what to do with her at first, and they kind of really figured it out by season 2. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I really liked La'an and what they did with her in the episode where she traveled back in time. I'm a sucker for those episodes, like or like the Star Trek 4s and the it's 4 is when they talk to the whales, right? That's the whales. And the episode in the original series.
Click it off for your bingo box, people.
Yeah. Okay. But it's just like
the whales.
I love when you get to take a character out of the future, pop them in, roughly our time period, and just seeing them interact in our world and the hilarity that ensues. And I felt like it brought out this wonderful side in her where we saw her be a little more vulnerable. We got to understand her a little bit better. And we also got to see her sort of fall in love and then carry that pain through the rest of the season.
Yeah. And deal with that.
And the great thing about that love story too is that she did fall in love with him, but the guy that exists in her timeline is not the guy that she fell in love with. So it's not even just that she's like pining for the guy that exists. It is that he reminds her of someone who doesn't even exist.
Yeah. It's the tragedy of it.
Oh, it was rough. I was like, oh, like dig my heart out and burn it. Like it was rough. I think that I enjoyed Uhura's her episode, like, and I'm calling it her episode, where she was the only one that could hear the sound, and like it really showcased her talent, who she is, and I think it helped to reinforce like her purpose, right? Because we always talk about like she doesn't necessarily want to have this job. She's like, maybe I'll
Right.
stay, and I think it just sort of like, this is my value, but like, who I am and what I can do is vitally important to the overall holistic nature of who we are on this ship, like us as a team together. And I just thought it was like really beautiful to see her like shine in that way.
Well, and also, I mean, just the fact that in this show, they're really demonstrating like Uhura is a prodigy. She's a genius. She's not the ship's receptionist.
Yep.
Right. There's she was almost like a switchboard operator in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But even if you watch, because I've been sort of going back and watching some TOS recently, and a lot of the stuff that she sort of is like off talking to Starfleet in the background. Do you know what I mean? Like she's not just like patching people through necessarily. Like she's like like giving and receiving actual information that is like that you're like, oh, there's actually more to it. She's not just connecting circuits,
Right.
No.
Like she's vital. She's a vital member of the team, because if she weren't there, what information are you getting from everywhere and anywhere in space and time?
Well, and I mean, I know that the position of communicator, I think, was written in the original show because that's such an important role in like the real Navy, in real ships today. But can you imagine they have to be able to communicate with alien ships who have a completely different technology? They might not even be, transmitting in the same way or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense that there would be someone whose speciality is communication.
Language.
Yeah, language.
Awesome. Oh, Stranger Worlds. When's it coming back? When's the release date, Mike Jones?
I don't think they've said. Yeah,
they haven't said. I think probably not in 2024.
I know,
right? Because they just got back. Like they started like they were one of the shows that like as soon as the strike was over, like they called them back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe late in the year, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, on to happier things. Lower Decks. We keep talking about it. I asked Tim. He asked, what's the topic tonight?" And I told him, and he was like, "Well, the favorite thing was Lower Decks, and the least favorite thing was there should have been more Lower Decks."
And that's really all you need to say.
He can't give you anything more than that.
Yeah, that really sums it up.
I mean, what else is there to say?
We need more Lower Decks.
Give me more.
I need to watch my cartoons.
Right, my Saturday morning cartoons.
So good.
There are too many highlights, too many things to say were my favorite. But the thing I'm going to throw out is Oopsie.
It drinks bones.
It drinks
bones. It's like, what? I can't. Here's the thing. Here's the genius of that. It's not just that this adorable creature that says "Oopsie" is horrifying and carnivorous and destroyer of worlds.
Yeah.
It's that it drinks. What does it drink? Your solid bones.
Like
it turns it into calcium. It says,
okay. How about the tree man? And he's like, I should be fine. I don't have bones. I'm a tree.
Right? Or no, they say that about
the tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Right in front of them.
The writing.
And the death of the tree man was probably the funniest.
It's so horrifying.
Star Trek.
And something you could only do in animation.
Yes.
That's why it's so great.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because it's so cute and horrifying at the same time.
My favorite moment is still Mariner in the cave with the Klingon. Like I was like, for all of the belly laughs that show gave me, like that moment of like heart and character and like and runner up when she gets on the stolen ship and she's like, "What up, Binars?" That made me laugh so. What up, Binars?
What Biners? Oh my god.
As a fan of Badgie coming back into this world.
Badgie, Goodgie, Logic-y. Logic-y.
Like the splitting off. Like it just, I was like, wow, they are mad. Like they are truly, like these people are deluded. Like they are out of their minds in the best ways possible and have given us everything we didn't know we needed or wanted in every episode.
I feel like they sit there like a bunch of high school kids in a basement.
Absolutely.
With like super double gulps of like Slurpees, and they're cracked out on sugar, and they're like, what if we did this? And no one's saying no.
No one's saying no.
Because they shouldn't.
They're just yes-anding everything. And it is creating the greatest addition to the Star Trek universe that we could have possibly imagined.
They really know their stuff too. I mean, they get everything right. It's amazing.
Correct. You're like, oh, this makes sense in the world. It
does.
just does.
Yep.
It just makes sense. I mean, drinking bones. That's rough.
Drinking bones. Drinking.
Calcium in solid form. I mean, that's it.
Horrifying. Like the level of horror that it can liquefy your bones and drink them.
Yeah. It's sort of like, what do spiders do? They give you that little venom, they wrap you in a little cocoon and it turns you liquid and they just drink you like a straw.
Oh.
Yep. That's true.
Horrifying.
It is. It reminds me of There Will Be Blood. Daniel Day-Lewis. I take a straw. I put it in your cup. I drink it up. Sorry, that's just one of the best scenes ever.
Is that our teaser for when we promote this episode? Is how is Daniel Day-Lewis like Moopsie?
Like in so many ways.
She picks her own joke.
So many ways.
That's amazing.
Just incredible.
Mike Jones, favorite moments?
I already said Moopsie.
You claimed Moopsie. Aaron just jumped on the Moopsie.
I jumped on the Moopsie. The Moopsie was his moment. I just jumped all over it.
She took it from me.
It's fine.
I'm
it's
a
fine.
savage.
I like the way.
I don't even know that that's my favorite thing. Like, I don't know. Everything is so spectacular.
It's hard to say.
It really is.
I think one of my favorite recurring things, it wasn't just in this season, but of course it comes to a head, is the fact that every time Tendi is around other Orions, they're like, Your Majesty.
Just
like everyone tripping
right.
over. She's
Mistress
like,
of
oh my
the
God,
Winter
you
Forest.
guys, no. Oh, it's just
I didn't do anything. It wasn't
it's just
me.
so weird. It's like, you like must be a big deal. Like, oh my God, no, it's not. And then she goes into the bar and she like does a drinking contest, and there's like an alien scorpion thing, and she's just like an absolute ninja assassin, but she's like, oh my God, I just want to like do science, you guys.
She's
I love
amazing.
it.
Do we think that's how the season's going to start next season?
Getting her back.
Well, didn't we predict that there's
Mhm.
one episode where she's not in it at all?
Yes.
And then it's episode 2.
Yes.
Okay.
To give us a chance to miss her, to give the her friends a chance to miss her.
Yeah. Listen, they may even do episode 3. They may
Make
hurt
us
us.
sweat.
They may hurt us.
Not only will it be episode 2, I think there'll be like a little tag on at the end of episode 1. Like I don't think they'll let us go without her very long. That's my prediction.
I don't want them to, because they're like the perfect little unit. Like, again, they've done their homework in introducing new characters, new ideas, but holding true to the tenets of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
And giving it a little more razzle dazzle because it's animated.
I want to point out to Lynn. To Lynn is like the importance of a straight man in comedy is everything. And also, like I had like, there's no more moment this year of feeling like a character was my spirit animal. Like I felt like it's like when people ask me to go bowling, like she just has the moment. She's like, I have no interest in that activity.
Oh, right. Yes. I have no interest in that activity. That's amazing.
Just full stop. Like, no, I don't want to go bowling. I'm sorry, and I don't want to play mini golf.
And I'm not saying I'm sorry.
I'm not. I know. I think of that every time. I'm like, or karaoke is the one for me. Karaoke. I will tell any lie in the world to avoid karaoke. I'm out of town. How many times I have been like caught still being in town during someone's karaoke, and then I still like as an adult, like I say, I've identified this as a problem. I don't want to do karaoke, and I keep getting invited, and then I keep lying my way out of it. And really, I just want to be like, I have no interest in this activity. Nothing sounds worse to me.
I cannot wait to invite you to karaoke.
Yes.
And you figure out what lie you're going to tell me. And then I show up at your house and drag you out so we can go to K-Town and sit in a room and do karaoke.
The funny thing is,
Lenita.
The thing is that now we're fully off topic, but in our history of summer theater together, Lenita revealed many things, but that she is a badass karaoke. So
yes.
I am not. This is not. You can tell by my speaking voice that it is never a singing voice. You don't want to hear it.
We just want you there because it's fun. There's always a group number. We can always do Age of Aquarius at the end, like we did.
No.
The last song.
I actually had a very dear friend who insisted on karaoke who knew that I hated it, and halfway through, he saw me smiling and he leaned in and he says, "You're doing a great job. We're almost done."
Oh.
It's like, and I will love you forever. Thank you for seeing me.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
But
I could see them doing karaoke on Lower Decks. I could see a karaoke joke happening on Lower Decks. I mean, they already play Dungeons and Dragons, like the Klingon version.
Yes.
What other nerdy things?
I also want to point out that Gabi Ruiz, who plays T'Lyn, went to college with Colby and was just the summer before this was released was like they were at a wedding together where they were Airbnb roommates.
Oh my god!
Which means that there needs to be a text message, phone call. Come discuss with us.
Yeah,
your character.
I'm like, Gabi,
is that our
Can
first
you
guest?
talk to your friend Tawny? Because we're going big. Tawny is who I want on the podcast.
No, you've got to get her first.
I know, and I'm not just using you to get to Tawny.
No,
right.
we are going to systematically invite them all via Gabi. She is going to be the inaugural guest.
She's our gateway. She's our gateway.
Okay, and I'm going to give you one other tenuous connection here. Okay, that in 2023 we had Sean Ferrick on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Sean Ferrick had on his podcast the one and only Nana Visitor, Major Kira herself.
It's amazing.
Who Nana Visitor made a birthday cameo for me. Thank you to my very dear friend Michelle. I know you're listening. I'm still talking about that gift. And in that birthday cameo, Nana promised me a hug. She said, if it's safe to do so, and if you consent.
Oh my God, she's well. You know, looking ahead to, I think she'll be at the Galactic D&I Con. It sounds like I'm saying icon. D&I convention.
Yes.
In Philly.
Which Mike and I are planning to go to, dear listeners, so you can meet us there. Aaron and Lenita are not committed, but strong likelihood that we will prevail.
This is true. Very strong likelihood that you'll prevail because it is before I disappear with my people to somewhere else. So, yes.
What the hell does that mean?
That was very
cryptic.
Is she? Are you regenerating into a new doctor? Is that what's happening?
No, but I am all the way up to Jodie Whittaker, and I am very sad because I'm currently trying to figure out how I'm watching season 14. I'm nervous. I am like, what is happening? Do I need to download BritBox? Like, I need content. That's my only plug.
A lot.
If
you have Disney, you can watch the Christmas specials where it's.
I didn't see all the. I literally on me and HBO Max are like this.
You're like caught up.
I am caught up.
Well,
But
but
No, there's
14's
one
not
more
on
three
here?
new ones, the 3 Christmas specials from this year are on Disney.
Oh.
Okay, I'll get to those. I
Yeah.
will finish
Yeah,
finish
because
out my
that's actually
season
where you
13.
get to see the new Doctor generate.
Right.
Yeah. I enjoy the regenerations. We'll
Mhm.
talk offline, Aaron Hadley, about my now newfound love for something that Damien blah 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 told me to watch a long time ago, but I don't remember. So thank you, Aaron Hadley, for sharing with me the wonder of Doctor Who.
Oh my God, Lanita,
But,
it is
you know,
my
we could also just
pleasure.
like record like a Captain's Log supplemental and like spend it talking about Doctor Who, and so
That's
that,
true.
We definitely could. But back to look, I'm getting us back on track. Lower
Good
Decks
job.
is amazing. We need more.
Mhm.
Can't wait to see where they go. We know we're gonna get a single, maybe and a half episode without our Orion superstar, and then she's coming back
Yeah,
In a
that's
big
what we
way.
think.
in a real big way.
Yeah.
In a real
She's
big
going to
way.
be kicking at what is it? Handing out lollipops and kicking asses, and she's all out of lollipops or something like that.
There you go.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Lollipops
Yeah.
and ass kicking.
Lollipops and ass kickings, and she's out of lollipops. Here comes Cindy.
I do, but I love that we got to see so much more of them, like their history as Orions within the confines of the animated series. Like we didn't get so much in like the live version of the thing.
They've really expanded upon that race, that, yeah.
Good
Do
job,
we have
creators.
Yes, good job. Are there missteps that took place in Lower Decks? I'm trying to think of another way
Not
of
a
saying
single
like,
one. Blistered
parts
be
we
thy
didn't
tongue.
like. I honestly couldn't think of any. There wasn't anything that I was like, that was a mistake.
Just
I
more
mean,
episodes.
there were like things that were less my favorite than other things.
Uh-huh.
Like Badgie's not my favorite.
Okay.
Was not mad about the episode, like it just was not it was not in fact, that may have been like the least funny to me for whatever reason. Like
that whole episode where it's like he took over and decided to like split himself like Horcruxes.
Wow.
I can understand that. I just think it's a very interesting idea of a character, like that character coming back, like being created in the holodeck. And didn't he like lock him away? But then he popped out because he was still in the mainframe.
Yeah, he was still in the eyepiece.
Correct. And like what word am I saying?
Reanimated?
Yeah, I think reanimated.
Maybe.
I was like, can you reanimate in an animated series? Because my brain stopped working.
Similarly, I'm not a huge Peanut Hamper fan, but I liked this season's Peanut Hamper moment better than last season.
The bird, when like
the
Peanut
bird
Hamper
episode.
and the bird. Weird. Very weird how like I get interspecies, yada yada yada. But
that was okay.
I mean, the bird people episode, like I think it's like it's something more than a big gulp at play in creating that.
It
was like blazed out of their mind.
They were like, let's take some patchouli
Blazed
and have some and have some.
They took some edibles.
Oh,
they had themselves a time. They had themselves a time.
That's
they were like, oh, they were like laying there on the floor, looking out the window, seeing some pigeons, and they were like, okay, guys, I want a robot and a pigeon.
I want them to get nasty.
Doing the nasty.
I want to see what happens.
Like, yes.
What do you think will happen? Yeah. What will they have? Will they have a robot? Will they have a bird baby? Like,
we're just gonna let them fucking find out.
Was it an egg?
Work.
Are you doing like straight dude? Is that what you're doing? Straight sci-fi writers room dude? Is that what
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes,
yes,
I am.
Just yes anding.
Yes anding. Hello, I'm joining in. Stage manager, Front Street. Like, it's so good. That's amazing. Peanut Hamper. But I thought it was very funny though. It's like I can just turn my light blue and they'll know that I'm good. Like
yeah.
That trope of knowing that every red lighted machine is bad
Yeah.
took me down. It's like,
Yeah.
blink,
Yep.
Right.
that's good now. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, they did that in Picard, like the ship's turn. Like, yeah.
yeah. That's what I
I'm telling
mean.
you, Lower Decks, every trope, everything, it goes back to something. Oh, well, they do that in the show. When Badgie ascends to becoming godlike or whatever, and in the first
Becomes
season there was
cute.
another character that ascended or whatever, and that, like, it hit me the other day that is a very Star Trek thing, because
Yeah.
I
Yes.
was talking
Oh,
to
yeah.
Tim about anyway, we were talking about what would happen if they did another show, and he has not watched Deep Space Nine, but he said, would that guy come back, and like Avery Brooks? And I'm like, well, at the end of the series, his character kind of ascended to like being a god, and I was like, oh my god, this is such a thing.
It's Scientology. They've reached the last
Wesley-
step.
Wesley.
went off with the Traveler.
Wesley did it
The
right.
Traveler who just became pure energy at one point.
Correct.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got
Decker
like
in the motion
Deanna
picture.
Troy's 12-year-old baby who just evaporated and went back into space.
Right.
Correct.
I don't know if that counts as ascending.
It does, because you ascend to
Definitely
another.
transitioned.
He,
Yeah,
he
transitions to another
became
being.
glitter and then
Yeah. I mean, Cass.
floated away.
Cass in Voyager,
Ugh,
like,
God.
and then they brought her back in a terrible episode, but yeah.
So,
Apparently
so you're
that's
not going to be
different
watching
also.
the Cash Tasha Yar spinoff?
I shan't. I won't. Not me.
I think you have
That is
something
where I
against
draw the
short
line.
blonde hair.
No, I have
Wow.
something against babies being born out of backs, and people taking advantage of a not fully mature android for their own self gratification, and
Wait.
then acting as if
Oh,
it
that
didn't
was not
happen.
rape. That was consensual.
It was consent. I did not say rape. I just said take advantage. Data was like, ooh, something popped up. Let's go.
Fully
and then
functional.
correct. And then she pretended like it didn't happen.
Yeah,
she was an asshole-ish frat boy.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't
okay,
like her.
yeah.
And she
Yeah,
deserved
she left
to
him
be
unread.
sucked into-
Yeah.
Correct.
But they did insinuate in later
mhm.
episodes that there was a continued intimate relationship, but that in that moment she was not in a space where she was able to
Oh,
deal with it.
apologist.
Mm.
Tasha Yar apologist. That's why she got sucked up by
I
Armis
just-
on a plane.
Listen,
And she
my
got
I
what
don't-
she deserved. being
I
sucked
don't
into a
think
black
Data
goo
got any
pond.
play after she died, and I feel badly about that. That's a
Because
lot
he
of years
loved
to
her.
go without a little something.
Listen,
wait.
he had a
He had that one girlfriend, but I don't think that I mean, it didn't work out. But I don't know that they, how far along they got.
what base they got to. Mhm, I know.
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry, my
And
friend.
then Data ascended.
Computers also ascend, but then he came back.
yeah.
Oh, then he came back as like
But it
Data
wasn't
2.0.
Part of his consciousness. It was like conscious, like like the last
Yeah.
hard drive backup.
Correct.
Right.
Before
Right.
the update.
Like when you dig out kids, you won't know what this means. When you find an iPod like that you
Yes.
had 15 years ago, and you're like, what was I listening to then? And you like find a charger and you charge it up,
Somewhere.
and you're like,
uh-huh. Oh,
oh,
I was in a completely
Well-
different headspace.
I felt very bad for that Data because he woke up and thought he was still in that terrible Star Trek Nemesis.
that was a dark place.
Yeah.
Dark
yeah,
times.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, what are we looking forward to in this 2024?
Wait, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Hold
sorry.
on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to close the door in 23. So
Oh, are we going to talk about ourselves?
she's got lists.
No, I look, I'm prepared this time. I wrote a quick little list while I was at work. No, I think that we have to mention, honorable mention, the
Okay,
very
yep.
short treks. I know that they're not canon, but it was more Star Trek for us. The only episode that was
Yeah.
terrible was the Booger episode. The
Uh-huh.
rest of them were great. And that then we can talk about ourselves.
I actually haven't seen any of the short treks. I need to do that. Are they on
Oh, yeah.
Paramount or
You
is
can do it in 10 minutes.
Oh, they're
They're
on
on-
YouTube.
They're on
Your
YouTube.
Okay.
I mean, and
on the
literally in
official
10 minutes,
channel.
you can
Okay.
watch them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then listen to our episode where we talk about them. We
Yeah.
talk about them for like 10 times longer than it would take you to watch them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
that's
no, I
what we do.
remember hearing about the discussion, but this is just
Yeah.
me coming clean with the group. Like I've never actually seen them.
All good. Oh, I literally was like,
They're
oh,
very,
I guess I
very
should
short.
watch these. Very short. But I think what the longest one is 5 minutes.
I think so.
They're stupid, and I enjoy
Like
them.
it. I like
They
it.
are. They're fun. You have they're definitely fun.
Okay.
They
Now
were
we
they
talk
were
about ourselves.
brutalized by the rest of the fan community.
They really were.
There's some unpopular
Because
opinions
they're so
on this.
precious about Star Trek. Oh, you can't do
Yeah.
that. Oh, what would we do? Like, just take it and like, just go with it. Drop some acid, take a hit of the bong, and just watch the dumb shit, and you'll laugh about it.
Who has time as an adult? Like, who has time? I literally have 2 mushrooms on the shelf behind me, and I have had them for 2 years. I can't find time to do it. Who has
Being
time?
an adult, I don't have time to drop any shrooms.
We had like a day planned for it while we were on vacation in Fire Island, and they were like, hey, guess what? Having a fried chicken dinner party at the house Tuesday night. And we're like, Tuesday was our mushroom day. We can't go to a dinner party with people we don't know, shrooming out of our faces.
Can't be high with strangers.
Oh
my
I
God.
mean, sure, but I don't know about anyway.
No, yes, you
Wow.
are correct. Okay, sorry. Now we can talk about ourselves, Mike Jones. All the things we did.
Our collabs.
Our
right.
collabs. Hello.
Yeah, looking back, we already mentioned
Collabs are not just for porn,
not just for porn.
but one
And
of
the
our
fact that
sort of was.
you all thought that is wild. Like I've never.
I didn't think that. Damien thought that.
Yeah, okay, let's point the finger correctly. Very good, Mike Jones. Because collab is used in so many other genres. I've never even heard it for porn. It's you collab with an athlete and a fashion designer. Bang bang, you make something. You collab with 2 musical artists. Ding ding. Like porn.
My corporate soul sucking job, I use the word collaborate like 17 times a day.
And it makes you.
But do you say collab? Do you like shorten it to collab?
Yes.
No, surely not.
No, I guess not. But I talk a lot about collaboration.
Yeah.
Speaking of, this is a bird walk. So forgive me, a tangent. But this is a tangent.
Southern thing?
Listeners, did anyone catch bird walk? Does
Bird
anyone know
walk?
what that means?
Do
Other
we
than
know
Mike
what that
Jones?
Are you birding?
Is that a Southern euphemism?
Is this it probably is a Southern euphemism. Is this a peanut hamper joke? Anyway, the corporate. So there's this TikTok person. I might cut all this out.
Corporate Aaron?
Has nothing to do with
No,
Star
you're
Trek.
not. Aaron?
Corporate Aaron.
Corporate
Yes.
Makes me vomit in my. I love her.
She's
And
so
I am
good.
so, and I mean, I love it so much, and it makes my stomach turn to listen to her hard swallow
Yes.
and the
I-
affect.
It is
Because
so
we all-
accurate.
I work
So-
with someone who sounds exactly
Nope, couldn't do it.
like that.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Damien, you have to find her.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you have listen. It is truly one of the best things to come out on the internet in a very long time because we all know this person. We've all encountered someone who just has an affect to their voice, hard swallows it,
Mhm.
and uses corporate jargon in the worst
Right.
ways.
Like she weaponizes it.
Wh-
It's
yes.
incredible.
Right.
I'm gonna wait for everyone to get on.
Okay.
I just want, I just want to,
So
we're gonna give them a few moments.
So it's 9:01, so we're gonna get started. Thank you all so much for coming.
Can
Yes,
you turn
it's
your
true.
turn your camera on. Thank you.
I'm
'Cause we are
triggered.
camera-
I'm triggered by all of this.
Right?
Sounds like my
Yeah.
job.
And her name is
is.
Corporate Erin.
It's,
You're like,
it's perfect.
welcome to my life.
Yeah.
It's truly perfect.
It really is.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's brilliant. Her actual name escapes me, but like
Lisa Beasley.
Lisa Beasley is brilliant.
Brilliant.
For creating this character. It's like she puts that wig on and becomes a totally different person. Anyway.
Collabs. That's what we're
So-
talking about.
Collabs.
We collabed with Sean Ferrick.
Mhm.
and we on our not safe for work adult content episode we weren't creating adult content, but we were talking about Star Trek
That's an important
parodies
differentiation.
that are adult content.
And it really wasn't that not suitable. Like I
It
feel
No, it really
wasn't.
wasn't. I think we may have
were very-
overblown.
It was
we
tame.
were like, it was
Yeah,
PG-13.
it was really tame.
I know. Damn. I was like, why can't we didn't go to like to the NC-17 rating of it.
But we did learn that you cannot shove a phaser up your ass on OnlyFans. You have to do
Correct.
it on Just for Fans.
Just for fans.
Unless it is actually something that is meant to be shoved up your ass. So like I said, you need to create a phaser dildo and you'd be good to go.
I don't think that would pass the test.
Can we, by the way, talk about earlier on in this very podcast this evening when we were trying to have like a serious discussion about Star Trek Picard and Mike got out his multi-dildo stick and started rubbing his body with it?
That is a Theracane, and I have
Theracane.
a muscle
Well-
spasm. Oh my god!
It's like a ski shoot, a shoot ski. What is the thing called that y'all love to? You put those little shot glasses on the ski, and like everyone, why are you all looking at me like this? It's your people. I've never seen my people do this.
I don't ski.
No, they take
Oh,
a ski.
you're talking
and
about
they
the
put
shots,
shot
and like
ski.
5 people will take a shot together.
Oh,
Your people.
I don't know. Okay,
your people.
that's a big generalization. I don't know that those are my people.
Okay, I will generalize it in the ilk of your ilk.
Have I done one before? Yes, I have. But that doesn't listen. If you walk
The
into a bar
truth.
and someone's like, "We have an extra shot, line up," you're not going to say no.
I'm gonna ask, what is that shot of before I say yes?
No. You just do it.
You just-
Because if you
you just
find
take
out
the
what's in
shot.
it, you probably won't take it.
Oh my god!
Is
Say
my
yes to
point.
life.
Say yes to life.
Say yes to
Okay.
life. Carpe
Say yes
diem.
to life.
Carpe diem.
Carpe
Okay,
drinkum.
I will be Jim Carrey and Yes Man.
We also collabed with Trek Experts Quiz Show.
Oh,
Twice.
Davey.
Twice.
So
Yes.
good the first time he asked us back and we fucking crushed it. My
Manita
Absolutely.
and Mike Jones were the stuff of legends
Yes.
on the what was it, Quark Tank?
Quark
Quark
Tank.
Tank.
Quark
Yeah, we
Tank.
got the
Yes.
Audience Choice Award,
Sure
the
did.
which is the real award that matters.
Mhm.
It is.
But
'cause
points wise, it was second.
we were second. Oh yeah, yeah.
We were second, yeah.
Still,
we were
like-
solid second.
Yeah. The person who got first place like did animation.
Did a
The person who-
really
the person who
good
got first
job.
place deserved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it was
like I don't
phenomenal.
care
Did.
that the like Queen Quark was whatever relation. That did it was not nepotism. Mama earned it.
No.
I
Yeah.
was like, I vote for her too.
Like,
Give
I
her
wanna
some of my
watch-
Latinum.
I'm gonna watch that special that she proposed.
Absolutely.
I also very much appreciate that if we ever just decided to be totally more than usual unprepared for this podcast, we could just be like, Lanita, stall. That was great. That was so great.
The queen
Mike
of
is, like,
vamps.
Fully ready to start his presentation. And technical difficulties.
And Zoom, damn Zoom.
Damn Zoom.
Zoom every time.
No, but it's just like I was like, it's Shark Tank. Like this is what this is what they do. Hi everyone. My name is, and we're here with, and we're asking for ding ding ding. It was good.
my God.
That was a lot
It
of
was
fun.
good.
I hope that we get to do some more of those weird outside of our normal
Absolutely.
chats.
And
Yeah.
also our 2024 holiday special is being produced on their platform. I think we were officially invited.
But
Absolutely.
there was some sort of invitation
That's gonna
from
take a lot of
from
work.
their producer, which I was like, what are you inviting us to do?
Right?
I think we should just take that and run with it.
We
Yeah,
should, we
be
should
This
like,
is the
you-
budget we propose. We're gonna get some rockets in there. It's gonna be great.
Listen,
So-
we'll write some songs.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Lord knows we're
Great.
not busy this December.
Nope.
Nope.
Plenty of
Totally
free
open.
time.
Totally
time.
open.
So that's one thing we're looking forward to next year. What else? We're looking forward to
More Trek. More Trek.
more Trek.
More
Um,
time.
to a convention.
Well,
in
we're talking
Philly.
about the DNI Con, and there's also
Yeah.
there's also we learned that our new friend Sean is going to be at the at Trek
Mhm.
Long Island,
Oh,
Mhm.
right.
and Hop Hog,
Hop
and,
Hog.
Hop Hog.
in July, I believe.
Mhm.
I'm
And
tempted to say, Aaron, do you live near there? But then I'm like, you probably don't because I don't understand
doesn't.
geography at all.
45 minutes. 45
Okay,
minutes away.
which means an
If-
hour and a half on the Long Island Expressway.
That is very true. That is definitely an hour and a half with traffic. But no, if we wanted to get a group, like I could pick people up from the train station, and we could drive on out, say hi,
See him in person.
hang out, meet
Absolutely.
the fans.
Damien will have a nice new blowout.
Oh hell yeah!
Everybody have a blowout.
Everyone.
are you
gets
kidding me?
blow
I'm
out
gonna have a
before
7
meeting
of 9
Sean.
French twists.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because the question is cosplay. Is there going to be cosplay? Because Colby
If we're
definitely.
getting together, yes.
Yes.
Because I mean, we can have some sort of self-promotional, like can show up at like have like our logo and our cartoon avatars like printed on all sorts of things.
Right.
Which I feel like we should do at some point if we go to the DNI con, because I feel like that is like
Yeah.
Because my sticker is the best thing I've ever seen in my life, and the plus one.
Oh
I
God.
put it on. Oh damn it!
It's
the
on my Wii
Samsung.
box.
It's on your weed box.
I love it. No, it's promoted out in the world. Like the plus one put it on the back of the kickstand of the Samsung's thingy thing. It was like she was like, but yes. I was like, so like at work, at the hospital, there it is.
Boom.
I love it.
I was like, "Yay, thank you for listening to, or rather, I say supporting, because nobody's listening. There's like, what are you talking about downstairs?
What?
I'm like, Star Trek. They did watch us on.
Oh, they did?
Experts.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely. But that's why we got they were voting.
They were
The old lady-
voting.
The old
Yeah.
lady was upstairs. I was like, get the voting, texting. We're on.
Yeah, Damien, Ben, and I are lighting up the comment
Yeah,
section.
Right.
pretty much.
Oh, old lady long time. What am I watching? Just watch. She'll be fine. Thank you.
Just
Support.
watch and vote.
Just watch and vote. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I'm looking forward to more deep dives into Trek that comes out new, maybe doing a watch-a-thon of movies, discussing how they would play and how we might change them in the new 21st century, how right they were about what they predicted back then for now.
Well, and I had
Yeah.
talked to Mike a little bit about this. My pitch for a movie watch through
Yeah.
is to do it by way of the soundtracks. Is to like, because all those soundtracks are on Spotify, and if you watch Star Trek the Motion Picture,
Oh, the music is amazing.
the music is amazing, and it's all Jerry Goldsmith, who wrote the theme song to Voyager. And it's crazy because there's all of these like little themes in the overture, like Ilea's theme and stuff like that you hear in the Voyager theme song, like just little hints of like, and like, or the like traditional Klingon music that we hear every time a Klingon ship approaches is like invented in that movie, like all this stuff. And then it was and also because of Star Trek Picard season 3 was like such a soundtrack heavy thing, and there's all of these like very these music themes that are very specific references that you don't kind of get until you. So I was like, why don't we just like, put the soundtrack on in the background for a while, and then sit down and watch the movie, and then like pay attention to it sort of as that as like the entry point, And
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
I love it.
And I've always loved the fact that every Trek has different intro music. Like it fits so well with each of the series. Like the sweeping orchestral music of DS9 as they're going through the entire, station. Like it gets you into the mood. I rarely skip intro music, because it's like we're in. It's like that entry point. Now I'm ready to go, locked and loaded. Excuse me.
So good.
What
So
else are we looking
good.
forward to?
Well, you already said more and more Star Trek. I'm excited about the final season of Discovery.
Yeah.
Boo.
The previews look a little Indiana Jones-ish, which is weird. I'm curious to see what that means.
Yeah, but Discovery is always has been sort of the rogue element of very like bang bang shoot 'em up fight.
It's been actiony, yeah,
Swashbuckling.
and actiony and
that's a way
very
to say that.
emotional, like
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Very heavy.
heavy
Very-
emotions. Yeah,
Mhm. It's the emo
Um,
cousin.
yeah. I'm excited about the second season of Star Trek Prodigy, which it will be on Netflix. And hopefully it'll do well enough to get another season.
I have to finish the first.
That's
Same.
fine. It's
Same.
almost a Voyager sequel. Like it's
Yeah.
There aren't enough humans. It's so weird.
It is. Well, you know what? They did not design those characters that look like the voice actors. I'll tell you that.
You don't gotta tell me that. That purple thing, and then the big blobbity blob, and then the man who looked like he stepped out of a Dalek ship. Give me my stuff. Like it's just, I don't.
You're proving what I think is a good point about the Star Trek universe now, that that you've watched some of this and it doesn't appeal to you. You're probably going to push through at some point when you run out of content, and like which is how I feel about Enterprise. Like I try, it's challenging to me.
Yeah.
It seems kind of bland, but in terms of the characters, and but that there is kind of something for everyone, and not everyone has to like every part of it, and that
Right.
not everyone has to be into Deep Space Nine, though I worry about you if you're not, but
Are you worried? I mean,
no, I'm not.
It's
No,
really good. It's a really good series, though.
It
Really
is.
good one.
It is.
Maybe that's what I'm looking forward to this year. Maybe I sit down and actually just watch through all of DS9, because I've seen bits of it.
yeah.
I've never watched the entire thing. And what I have watched has been out of sequence because I just watched it randomly in syndication.
Right.
And that's what I did. I had to sit down and like when I told them, I was like, I'm gonna be a completionist. I'm going to watch the stuff.
You have to watch it because it was the first series that did storytelling over multiple episodes. So you really do have to watch it in order. And they didn't really get into that until the a little later into the series too. The first couple seasons are, I think, have a different tone.
It's still figuring itself out. It's finding its voice.
And
But,
it's okay though. It's still really interesting.
There's some stinkers in the first season or two, but for the most part, it is the first few episodes of Deep Space Nine are actually like good. They're not like, to me, I mean, Voyager is harder at the beginning than Deep Space Nine is. I think that they I mean, they couldn't quite figure out. It took them a while to really figure out what it was about, but they knew, like, for instance, because if you listen to the Delta Flyers podcast, which I would recommend, it is Tom Paris and Harry Kim, Robert Nuckerman Neal, and Garrett Wong, and they're watching all of Deep Space Nine, and they're starting at the beginning, and they know nothing. They know because they just did this with Voyager. Like the early episodes is a Voyager rewatch. And they have Terry Farrell, who's Dax, and Armin Shimmerman, who's Quark. And they have the two of them. They have one or the other, and sometimes both. And it's crazy because most of these people don't know a whole lot about Star Trek. They just happen to have been their job, and they know like the parts that they were in. So it's like a really interesting sort of insidery outsider take on it all, which is, but it's
8 seasons, Jesus.
Yeah. No, they
commitment.
7 seasons back when TV was 22, 24 episodes a season too.
It was when it was good.
Yeah, life was good.
Life was good. Those good old days.
All right. Well, I feel like we're starting to wind down. Are any final thoughts on our New Year wishes, things that we'd like that we hope and dream to come true before the end of the year?
I'm starting to investigate various cosplay projects since my boyfriend gifted me a set of 7 of 9 style Borg implants.
Oh, where are those implants? You should have them on in the. You're gonna go grab them.
Here we go.
Oh, hold on.
Wait, and this is an audio.
Right.
We're gonna
This
describe
is
them, don't
great
worry.
for an audio podcast.
It is.
Yeah, I
Damien
mean, it
has
is.
gotten the box. He is now opening them up.
Oh,
One is going
yes.
directly on the jawline. Aaron missed it.
They're
Put it
a
down.
little hard. I don't know how they're gonna.
You're gonna soften them up. One is a crescent shape that will
That's
go
amazing.
directly
Right around the eye.
All right, there we go.
It's gonna be great.
Amazing.
And
Yeah,
then
you just need the
third
cat
some
suit.
OnlyFans. You can do a little OnlyFans.
And
Oh,
the
and the
cat suit
glove?
is like literally $35. So, there's
It's gonna
something
be
else.
great.
Did it come with the glove? Like that, like weird, like
Ooh,
end of the
yeah,
fingers?
Ooh, no, but there's this. It's only the face ones.
Oh, the face ones.
Okay,
Okay.
the face ones.
I
But
don't
you
really.
can-
I don't remember where they go. I have to look at her, but it's like.
But you can easily
there's-
do
yeah.
a hand thing. You could easily go get like, maybe
Yeah.
like a skeleton-y hand and like saw it in half. We have a whole props department.
We know people.
We
We know people with skills.
Oh, it's all the way to your nose. Ooh.
I don't
oh,
quite.
Okay.
We got it. It's unclear how it fits, but we're gonna.
We're gonna make
Probably-
it. We're gonna make
Figure
it
it
happen.
out.
We're gonna make it
We're
work.
gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work.
I'm gonna make some fun home videos.
That's what I'm saying.
All
Gonna start
right.
his
Separate
own
revenue
For-
stream.
For just for fans, or
He has given us a stank face. Okay.
Listen. If I see that you have both, I know which I'm subscribing to.
love.
that's amazing.
No,
Um,
24 is gonna be good. It's gonna
Yeah.
be. It's gonna bring us some new stuff,
Mhm.
some closure to some old stuff. I'm just happy to be here to talk about it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most is recording with you all again, and seeing your faces in when we get together, whenever we get together, whether you come to Philly or Wapog. Is that what it is?
Hot dog.
Hopog, whatever. It's the same thing. Um,
Oh, it's so good.
but yeah, so I think we'll wrap it up. Thank you all for listening. If you've enjoyed us rambling today, we love you for it. Please love us for it and give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Hailing Freak Open or at hailingfrequenciesopen.com. And with that, I will say, Hailing Frequencies closed.
No goodbyes. Just good memories. Hailing Frequencies closed, sir.